Hi, I'm your nostalgia chick, and there's a well-known math proof that posits that which most of us know to be true. Women are evil, and it goes a little something like this. If women equals time and money, we all know that time equals money, so therefore women equals money squared. We also know that the square root of evil equals money, and therefore money squared equals evil. And as women equal money squared, you get the idea. Fair enough, but how does that translate into the all-important nostalgia goggles? A lot of TV shows and movies featured evil, ass-kicking, and usually sexualized chicks of evil to such a degree that evil might be considered an equal opportunity employer. Unfortunately, most major villains in movies these days tend to be male, but the makers and shakers of children's product from back in the day at least knew a little better. So here they are, the top 11 nostalgic villainesses. Why top 11?
These go to 11.
Number 11, Mirage from Disney's Aladdin. While she wasn't in the show that much, she's well remembered for being just about the only sexy villain unless you're weird and Count Jafar. She also probably helped kick off a whole generation of furries.
How is it possible?
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Do we know where she comes from? No. Why the hell does she have a cat head? Who cares? What's her motive? We don't really know. She just seems to be kinda evil. Number 10. Rita Repulsa from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Rita pretty much only gets points for camp value. You pretty much get every iota of information you need about her from the intro to the show.
Ah! After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to conquer Earth!
She's here to make us hurt, ain't she? She doesn't have much in the way of a shelf life, unless you just enjoy watching old, poorly dubbed Japanese women with silly hairdos who surround themselves with even sillier voiced minions.
Let me help you, O powerful one. Walk with me, talk with me.
Other than that, she gets a little exhausting in her repetition.
Oh, I shall send my useless village to destroy the worthless Power Rangers! Curses! I shall now take a small thing and make it large!
We'll meet again, Power Rangers!
Curses!
Rita's not much with the motives other than just being kinda evil. Seems to be a trend with these evil women folk. Number 9. Angelica from the Rugrats. The villainy of this one might be subject to technicality, if only because she's basically little more than a spoiled brat who channels her spoiled brat energy into being an annoying antagonist, most of the time setting up her gullible cousin Tommy who just never fucking learns. I guess one-year-olds haven't developed long-term memory yet. It's implied that Angelica's not all bad, she's just a righteous, self-centered little bitch, even in Nickelodeon's marketing. Rugrats was always kind of weird with its portrayal of parent-to-child archetypes, but Angelica's pretty much the closest thing we ever get to a regular antagonist, and a pretty memorable one to boot. All because she was just kind of spoiled. Number 8. Carmen Sandiego. Carmen's also something of a villainy on technicality, as while she's good at what she does, she's really courteous about it. I mean, sure, she steals things that are pretty hard to steal, but then she gives you clues about how to find her, just because it's sportsmanlike. And if you're really in deep shit, she might even lend you a hand.
Carmen Sandiego saving us?
But beyond that, she has an awesome look. They seem to have given her a very early 90s hot femme Dick Tracy thing going on, and she always has amazing shoes, not to mention that hat. I want it! Why is the world's greatest thief so hot? And is she even wearing anything under that coat? But most importantly, she has the most epic theme song of any title character. Wherever she is, it must be in the land of epic. Even after the adventure of getting whatever she stole back, she's never particularly upset about it.
Touché.
She's a pretty good sport about losing. Seems like Carmen's not really in it for keeping the stuff, but more the thrill of the hunt. But most of all, just proving she can. Number 7.
Cruella de Vil. Cruella de Vil.
Now here's a right vicious bitch, a woman who so desires a coat of spots, and by God it has to come from the skin of a living thing, that she's willing to fork over the money for 101 Dalmatian puppies just for the skins. And these are purebred puppies, that's no sum to sneeze at. But more than that, she is driven. She gonna get that fucking coat. Whether played by a looming, scary Glenn Close as an Anna Wintour Cruella, or just good old-fashioned animated crazy bitch, Cruella de Vil is one for the ages, and certainly one of Disney's most memorable. And remember, fur is murder. Alright, fine. Puppies! Number 6. Mystique from the X-Men animated series. Mystique in this continuity wasn't really the complex, conflicted terrorist she was in the comics, but she gets big points for that association, not to mention her equally awesome portrayal in the X-Men movies. Mystique in the animated series was often a lackey, sometimes of Mr. Sinister, who had an extra silly name even by X-Men standards, other times of Apocalypse, but was usually best for some kind of shocking reveal regarding one of the main characters.
I swore one day I'd get you back. Today is that day, my daughter.
She's Nightcrawler's mother. And Creed's mother, too.
It can't be!
Talk about your soap operas.
Mystique is allowed some complexity, as she does at least appear to give a shit about Rogue and Nightcrawler, and the last time we ever see her is after she ostensibly sacrifices herself for him. But most of all, she just wants those damn humans dead. They're so mundane and violent, and they certainly don't dress so stylishly. Not that there are pictures of me dressed in Mystique one year for Halloween in college floating around the internet or anything. Number 5. The Ladies of Batman, the animated series. In all of superhero-dom, there aren't a whole lot of franchises with, dare I say, more than one, if any, interesting and complex female characters. Batman is one of these series, so it's a bit of a surprise that Christopher Nolan's Batman series is such a goddamn sausage fest. But this animated series had a lot of good portrayals, and even some interesting original characters. We have Catwoman and Poison Ivy, of course, but the most popular even still seems to be Harley Quinn, who was created expressly for the show.
And here you thought I was just another bubble-headed blonde bimbo. Well, the joke's on you. I'm not even a real blonde.
They always made effort to show that the ladies aren't all bad, and that their motives at least somewhat make sense. Thing is, their motives always seem to be rooted in extreme liberalism. Except for that one, of course. Number 4. Ursula from The Little Mermaid. I hate this movie. I really do. I sold my soul for a vagina and a man I don't know. So it really does say something when the one redeeming factor in your movie is the villain. Seems like Disney does that a lot. Ursula's a fun case, in that not only was her design based off a drag queen, no, really, she totally gets one of the best songs ever to sing her fat little heart out at our exceptionally stupid protagonist.
Come on, you poor unfortunate soul! Go ahead! Make your choice!
Ursula is a fat acceptance blogger's wet dream. Except for the whole evil part. Number 3. Demona from Gargoyles.
Where does the time go?
Now right after you exclaim, oh my god, it's Counselor Troy. Yes, it is. Here we have yet another blue-skinned ginger who's motivated by revenge and bigotry against humans. Seems to be a thing. Demona is very dark, even by Disney standards. I mean, this bitch just kills willy-nilly. And what's more, she enjoys it. Plus she's a little bitter that her man's a pansy.
My angel of the night.
My angel of the night. Once the love interest of our maid, of course, years and years of horribleness later, she's pretty much the main antagonist of the show. Well, her and Riker over here.
The Vikings destroyed my clan.
She's hurt and she's bitter and she's just so alone.
The access code is alone.
Number 2, The Wicked Witch of the West. Oh, what nightmares hath she wrought on so many children's waking. She has an army of monkeys that does her bidding, and she's green. Dorothy killed her sister, took her shoes, and she wasn't happy about that. And her monkeys fly. Ain't much else to say about her, really. She's pretty simple, pretty archetypal. Here's some monkeys. Number 1. Skins hued of cool colors seem to be optimal for evil ladies, 4 out of our top 5 being the case, but none approach the level of sexy badassery as Maleficent. Even her name is amazing. What's a magnificent malediction? Maleficent. She's just balls to the wall gratuitous in terms of evil, and that's just how we like it. She has no evil motivation whatsoever, other than the fact that she is simply the self-proclaimed mistress of all evil.
Thinking you could defeat me, the mistress of all evil.
And with a title like that, you best live up to it, and that she does. Why is she mad? She got snubbed an invite to a baby shower. And lo, her evil plan is to have said baby prick her finger on the spindle of a spinning wheel on her 16th birthday and die.
and die.
Well, points for creativity. It's also implied that she's just generally spiteful as a rule.
She always ruins your nicest flowers.
Fuck with the good fairies, that's always good for a laugh. How many Disney characters do you know that call upon the powers of hell?
Now shall you deal with me, O Prince, and all the powers of hell!
Or when perturbed, turn into a goddamn dragon. Maleficent has one of the most badass get-ups in all Disneydom. Not that there are pictures of me dressed as Maleficent in college one year for Halloween or floating around the internet or anything. You best bet she kept that spinning wheel promise. What's more, she kidnaps Aurora's boyfriend and rather than killing him, plans to keep him until he's old and decrepit while Aurora's sleeping self is still young and perfect. And only then will he be able to be with his one true love, when he's old and shriveled and can't get it up anymore anyway. Now that's evil. The movie's awesome not only for its mighty villainess, but for the fact that its main characters are not only all female, but kinda old too. Yes, I mean the fairies, and this movie really is about them. Our breeding pair are pretty much only tools for the good fairies and Maleficent to fuck around with. Pretty much every move Prince Philip makes during and after his escape is facilitated by the fairies doing the dirty work for him. And he kills her pretty good. Oh well, Maleficent is still awesome as hell, and has the best motivation. I leave you now with more embarrassing pictures from the days when I actually put effort into my Halloween costumes. I'm your nostalgia chick. I remember it because the dude said it.